See, this kind of unhealthy competition the parents themselves have. They have learnt it in their school and college. Please understand this. These
Welcome to the Change My Way of Life podcast. Shree Krsna Guruji,
Jai Shri Krishna.
you have been telling us for a while that there's problems with the education system, and today we're going to talk about these problems.
The education system got disturbed way back in time, that is around 100, 200 years ago. And today we are at a point where we are learning things which are actually irrelevant from the material worldly perspective. I'll give you some examples. You will find that children go to school, they have a fixed curriculum. The curriculum is so fixed and rigid that nothing is taught outside the curriculum. So they are forced to study those subjects which the government thinks fit enough for them to study. That is one. Second one is they are always driven by marks and ranks. So if you get better marks and better ranks, then you can go to the higher class and you can enter some good college and you can enter some better institution. But if your marks are less and if you are not qualified in that aspect, then you cannot join those big institutions. Everything is driven by the mark system, which doesn't give anybody any knowledge as such. What is given over there is called just some things to be done by rote. So you by heart a few things and then you go and spew it out. And that's it. With no real knowledge actually entering the child's brain. This is also driven by the parents. The parents are very much hand in glove with the schools. They drive their children up the wall saying that they have to score marks, they have to do well. And the children believing that if they have to score marks and they have to do well, they have to go and study in that particular manner. But at the end of the examination or the end of the year, they have completely forgotten what they have learned. So it doesn't stay in their long-term memory at all. So these are the factors which drives the educational system today. And then there is, at the end of the day, there is still money. You cannot enter a very big school or an institution without having good amount of money in your bank balance. So if there is a needy student, a student who has to do something in life, he cannot be in a position to join these kind of larger institutions. And because they come from a poor background, sometimes you will find that they don't get a visa, they don't get the passports also, because they may be living in some, in the villages and rural places. So there are lots of issues which the child has to go through. The next thing is they are not ready for the social impact that they are going to have when they change this institution. A very good example is of Ramanujam when he had to go to England. He did not even have the clothes nor the shoes or anything to wear. And it was a complete disconnect for this child who went to England to do his further studies. So these are certain things which we don't take into account when we teach the children. You will find that there are lots of other things which go wrong in this system. If I am learning, let us say, geography or history or some such subject, what is the relevance of that subject today? You will find that there is absolutely irrelevant. It has nothing to do with me. I am talking about, let us say, the independence, the day we got independence. The child is least interested in independence. Though he will know Mahatma Gandhi and he will also know there was a world war, but it is no significance to him. He doesn't have any idea who is Churchill and what happened during the war. Nobody knows these kind of subjects. So you will find that it is not corresponding to the real life. The real life, if I have to just think about it, are the wars going on just now? You can imagine the situation. There is nothing written in any book. If there is something going on in this world, it is not even mentioned in any book which they are reading. Plus, no teacher is going to go outside the syllabus to teach the children that this is what is happening in the world, which by itself tells us that this whole system is rigged only for those who can do things by rote, but no real knowledge will go inside the brains of that child. And that is why I think the system is at fault.
Yes, Guruji. When it comes to the marks, what else would you use to assess a child, or how would the family know that the child is doing well or not doing well?
See, it is not the marks that are at fault or even the curriculum that is at fault. What has to be included is those things which are relevant in the world today. You can use the marks for finding out whether the person has got a better ranking or no, no doubt about it. But keeping that aside, the school or the educational institution, wherever these kids are, they should have a lot of other things included within their working, which is not dictated by the government or dictated by any outside forces, which means if you pay so much, you will get this. There are institutions here in India where they will teach you golfing and they will teach you horse riding and all those kind of things. I agree, that is good. Sometimes it is good, but the cost is very high. Think like this. If I have to pay for the golfing, the child is not interested in golfing, but I have to pay for the golf course, I have to pay for that. Then I have to pay for the horse riding as well. So what is the use? Here, what I am talking about are the different aspects which a child should explore. So it also includes the school as well as the parents. So it is a responsibility of both. In olden times, the system was slightly different. The system was driven by the Gurukul system. There was a guru and he taught 64 subjects plus another 8 more. So there were a lot of subjects that were to be taught, and the child was in one place for anywhere between 12 to 14 years under the tutelage of the master. Now, I am not saying you should have that kind of a system where only one person is involved. No, you can have multiple teachers, you can have multiple subjects, and you have to find out how good the person is. I remember in my school days, there was nothing like a subject which I could learn outside the curriculum. I was interested in dramatics, I was interested in filmmaking, I was interested in photography. But that subject was not taught to me. Neither did I learn about botany or how plants grow and all those kind of things. In my world, I had a mentor. See, the mentor taught me hundreds of different things. And I will give credit to my mentor, who was my uncle for that matter. And he taught me everything that he knew, right from farming to blasting wells to painting the house, electrical connections, you name it, everything. I mean, everything, the nitty gritty of, I guess, a lot of subjects was taught by him. Now, this child, if he is dependent only on marks, then how will he learn all these things? Think about it. And that is the reason why marks are not going to help too much, except that it will help the child to go to the next class. That is the only way in which you can understand. But teaching methods have to differ. Schools.
Yes.
One lady was asked a question recently. Her son is going to one music class. And one other parent asked this lady, can I put my son in that same music class? Do you know what the other lady said? I cannot give you that address because that teacher is exclusive to my son.
Oh, no.
They don't want the other person's child to even grow. The other person's child is going to become greater. He might be more intelligent and he may learn the music better. So why should I allow the other child to grow? See, this kind of unhealthy competition the parents themselves have. They have learnt it in their school and college. Please understand this. This unhealthy competition, these people learned it in their own school days and college days. And then they went to work, and there also they had unhealthy competition with everybody in their office. Everybody is running office politics. You know that very well. In office politics, nobody cares. Everybody is like his own self. I want to grow. I want to grow. And when they have children also, they are inculcating the same thing in their children. How does that work? And that is the reason why it has to be selfless service. Understand this. We should find these kind of selfless service people who are not bothered that their child should grow and somebody else's child should not grow. That is not the criteria. Everybody has to get equal opportunities and everybody should get the best in the world. And that is the reason why we have to make it free. And we have to ensure that some amount of a stipend or something is paid if somebody is spending time. But that can be done through an NGO or something like that.
Yes, Guruji. If you believe everything that is said about the coming age with AI, and if everybody is doing well because of AI, whether it ends up that we are receiving a universal income or universal basic services, that certainly would free up more time. So do you see that might help this situation?
No, AI can only work in about 10 to 20% of this world's population.
Mm.
The reason being, education in AI is not there for everybody. There are villagers, there are pockets of people in this world who are earning their daily wages. They are running small shops. AI is not going to help them in any which way. A farmer, a beekeeper, imagine this. Where is AI going to help them? It's physical labor, isn't it? You have to do physically. AI is where there are computers, where there are instruments, where there are equipments. I have an iPhone, I have this, I have that, the iPads, your watches. So it is more instrument based, more equipment based. And I don't think 90% of this world is equipped for that. So AI will help only 10% of the people in this world, not everybody. So yeah, you can say AI helps in farming. Do you think the entire world can be covered by farming? I don't think so. Just a small portion. Today, we are trying our level best to make this available to the world. But how much of the world is going to get attracted towards it? Hardly any. So if I need to see the growth in this universe, the whole world, the only thing which I got to do is I have to find out new frontiers, new places to go to. And the world is going to go there. See, today there are construction activities happening in every country. Okay. We have reached the upper limit of the number of, condos and houses that we are building. We need to find new places. On this earth, there is a paucity of that. So maybe we have to go in outer space. So when you go in outer